Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of The Battleship Island, a World War II drama thriller from 2017 from South Korea that was directed by Seung-wan Ryoo, one of the most reliable directors working today. Now the website Modern Korean Cinema provides a nice little plot synopsis that I'm going to borrow here. Towards the end of World War II, while Korea was still a colony of the Japanese Empire, a group of Koreans unwittingly find themselves on a boat headed to Hashima Island, which houses a small mining town that's now used as a wartime labor camp. Now among the group are a bandmaster and his tap-dancing daughter, a gruff street fighter, and a no-nonsense woman from the countryside. Now the island camp is run by cruel imperialists, while the micromanaging is handled by a sycophantic group of Koreans. Although a longtime elder commands some respect within the camp itself. Now later on, a resistance fighter sneaks onto the island and attempts to stage a massive breakout. Now let's go to the positives first here for this film. The casting in this film is rather fantastic, actually. Our lead actor is Jung-min, who plays the bandmaster. I'm a big fan of this actor. Early in the film, this guy decides to go to Japan to protect his daughter. He's under some weird circumstances at the beginning of the film, but he's drafted into Battleship Island by force, being deceived by his acquaintances. Now, on the island, he does anything to protect his daughter, of course, who is played by Soo Kim, who is mostly well known for her role in Train to Busan. Now, Ji-sub-so plays the street fighter. He starred in films such as Rough Cut, and K-dramas such as I'm Sorry I Love You and Master's Son, so it's always nice seeing him. Joong-ki plays the resistance fighter, and I recently covered him in my review of Descendants of the Sun not too long ago. And there are a handful of recognizable faces in supporting roles as well, so this is very good casting. Also, the production values are awesome in this. You know, South Korean period films are generally impressive in their ability to take us back in time. Two recent examples are Assassination and Age of Shadows. But the set designs and special effects in the Battleship Island are particularly impressive. They're really good and totally convincing. But unfortunately, that's about it in terms of positives for this film, in my opinion. With regards to the negatives, first things first, of course, the most common complaint that I've read online is that many critics had a problem with the depiction of Japanese soldiers in this movie, which is understandable because they're presented as wafer-thin caricatures. However, the Korean characters are just as badly developed, and they're given way more screen time, which makes their lack of development even more frustrating to watch. Remember when Red Letter Media attempted to describe the protagonists in the Star Wars prequels and could barely come up with anything significant? Well, the Battleship Island yields the same result. You know, Jung-min is the kinda goofy, likable guy who cares for his daughter. It's about all you know about him, really. Ji-sub-so is the angry dude who likes to punch people in the face. The little girl can dance, and she's a good little dancer. And after 140 minutes, I still feel like I barely know any of these characters at all. So that's not good. Not good. And that's the point that I want to make here, is that the character development in this film is atrocious regardless of nationality. And this is especially true of some of the bad guy characters, who are patently ridiculous. There's this one bad guy, and I'm not going to tell you if he's Korean or Japanese, who stares into the camera and gives a terribly acted evil grin that's just unintentionally cheesy. Like the way they light the scene, the camera like zooms into him, and he's just like, and he like stares into the camera. It's horrible. It's so bad, and it happens multiple times with this guy. I don't know what this director was thinking when he shot those scenes and was like, cut. Yeah, good one. Let's keep that shot. I'll never understand that. Now, in general, the script writing is basically incompetent. There's no nuance really to anything, with the dialogue being somewhat, it's something a high school kid could write. You know, everything's pretty basic. The There's also some really bad moments that are memorable in their idiocy. For example, there's a secret villain that I won't spoil for you, who does something bad later in the film, and he's later exposed because of something that happens to his name tag. Just the way the scene played out, I was just kind of rolling my eyes during that scene. It was just so convenient what happened there. So yeah, not good script writing. Most of this could have been forgiven, or at least some of it could have, if the action and thriller set pieces were exciting. But despite the impressive production values, most of them are not as thrilling as they should have been. You know, they just seem to kind of happen with little to no anticipation or build up to them. So one minute, G-Sub is challenging some dude we don't know to a fight, and then a minecar goes out of control and like kills some kid that we don't know, you know, etc., etc. Stuff just kind of happens. You know, the Battleship Island is a surprisingly monotonous experience that has no rhythm to it, really. Too much constant hysteria that's portrayed in the most generic ways possible. This movie is basically a bunch of people in danger. I mean, that's basically it. One exception to this, though, is the finale, which I think is legitimately good. The finale was good, but too little too late, in my opinion. So, as you can tell, I just did not like this movie. And I try to focus on covering good movies in my individual videos on this channel, because there are an insane number of good Asian movies that deserve attention. So I usually do not want to waste too much time dedicating separate reviews on crap. I mean, if I got to see movies in the theater, I'd review everything, you know, as like a guide, but by the time I get to review them, you know, it's time to just focus on the good stuff, I think. But there are instances where negative reviews are warranted, and in this case, you have a director who has been around for years and has never disappointed me. You know, I've seen every single one of this man's feature-length films, and even a few of his short films, and in every single one, he's been at least moderately entertaining. The Battleship Island is the first film from Seung-wan Ryoo that I have no desire to rewatch again. It is. It's just the first one. So that's really kind of a landmark achievement for him to make just a not good movie. And so it had to be covered here. I just felt like I had to cover it. In fact, if you want to see a World War II film that explores the dubious acts of the Japanese military, go watch the Chinese film, City of Life and Death, if you haven't already. I have a non-spoiler review of that film on my channel. It blows Battleship Island completely out of the water, and it's not even close. So watch that one instead, or at least first. So yes, Battleship Island was a pretty big disappointment, especially given the pedigree of this director. But if you're interested in seeing it, it's available on Region 3 DVD with English subtitles. And as always, I'll see you next time.